God wanted me to speak about the heart today. God wanted me to speak about the importance of reminding you that the heart, keeping the heart pure, is so important and detrimental for your alignment. What does this mean? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Okay, so we're going to break it down from biblical verses. The first that we are going to visit today will be out of Proverbs 4, verse 23. So it says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. Everything that begins to manifest in your life, right? The way in which your mind, your body, and your spirit move in the world are governed by your heart space. We have to also remember that this heart space is also where the kingdom of God resides, right? The kingdom of God was always within us. If your heart is filled with negativity, or is filled with bitterness, or is filled with pain, what it does is it only magnetizes what is already within you. Let me give you a typical example with my walk through life. I had been in very painful experiences, and no matter what it is that I tried to do within my reality, I just kept summoning in more pain, right? But I want to remind somebody today that what all changed was the awareness of me recognizing that this pain that I'd been entertaining had manifested in different areas of my life. What does that mean? Merely me continuing to feed it my life force energy, it continued to manifest. And so I want to remind somebody today, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And so guarding our heart was always to come into alignment with our mind and our body and our spirit, that they all face one pivotal trajectory, one focal point in our lives, and that it doesn't scatter or has our energy scattered everywhere. The heart space is where your gifts flow. This is the kingdom of God. This is where your spiritual gifts are. This is where your communication with God is. This is where your discernment is. Like, all of these things are coherent to the alignment of your heart space. And so if there is a lot of clutter in your heart, it distorts out you hearing God. It distorts out you coming to the coherence of that kingdom that was always within you. This is why when you get before God, and when you ask God, right, to help you attain something in life, a lot of things fall apart first. The reason in that is because the old needs to go. The things that weren't coherent with His perfect will for your life need to dissipate from your life. They need to dissolve from your life. God never created you from a lens of pain. He never created you from a lens of distortion. He never created you from a lens of having to dim yourself. And so 100% of the time, when God summons you and when God works on you, He first begins by pruning all the branches that no longer bear fruit, or that didn't even bear fruit. I mean, it did bear fruit. It just bared the fruit that wasn't coherent to what it is that you wanted to align with. So you were probably breeding more pain. You were probably breeding more uncomfortable experiences in your life. But I want to remind you today that it is very pivotal that you keep your heart space pure. Honey, the second verse that I want us to go to, you will see how all these are linked together, is Matthew 33, verse 34 says, "Brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." So it reminds us that you cannot speak, you cannot hold or harbor evil in your heart, right? What is evil? Let's just say anything that happens to be negative or anything that doesn't align with the perfect will of the Father over your life. And want to manifest great fruit, right? So whatever it is that is within your heart, this is what you continue to manifest. This is what you continue to summon in. And so today, I want to remind somebody that this is an invitation to check what was always inside of your heart. Ask God to illuminate to you what is in your heart. There are times in our lives that we go through things we're not aware that we still harbor bitterness. We still harbor unforgiveness. We still harbor traumatic experiences of the past. And this is not to negate that all these things will be gone all in one flash. But you have to remember there is a verse that says, forget the former things. Why did we have to forget the former things? Because where your heart is, so does your body go, so does your mind go. Now, the third verse that we're going to visit today comes from Luke 6, verse 45. It says, a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So both Luke and Mr. Matthew and Miss Proverbs, Lady Wisdom, were all speaking and reminding us the importance of heart coherence in moving forward in our lives. A lot of things in our lives are scattered from our heart space. Invite Jesus into your life and ask him to assist you with unpacking what was in your heart, seen, unseen, conscious, unconscious, known, unknown, because it is not just about the things that you feel you know. There are things that may have happened throughout the course of your life that have also left dents and left markers of that pain, left markers of something that then breeded bitterness in your heart, etc., etc. And so to check in with these and to finally surrender them so that you can come into the wholeness of everything you were created to be, then things begin to get easier from this point of your life. So I remind you today, my love, that you have an inheritance. You are an heir in the kingdom. You have places to go. You have people to see. You have things to do. You have ministries to birth. You have stages to be on. You have people to speak life into. You have lives to change. And so I remind you today that you got what is in your heart. Honey, giving it to him, surrendering it to him. He says he will give you a new heart. This is why a lot of people that go through seasons of transformation in their life look nothing like where they come from. It is because God brings you to the totality of who he had always authentically created you to be before the pain had tried to write in your story, before the disappointment had tried to weave into your story, before the lack of support or the rejection wound had written into your story. Be careful of what it is that we utter with our mouth, right? Because words are spells, right? Words have the power to birth or to destroy. And so ask yourself, what am I birthing? This is only a manifestation of what was always inside there. So look at the words that you speak on your daily basis and ask yourself, do they align with where it is that you see yourself in life? Do they align with what it is that God has spoken over your life? This is the identity work that you need to continue unlearning in order to learn who you always were in God.